Hmm. We were doing this chapter. Let's see, till here we studied that how the aerobic and anaerobic process occurs. What is the difference between them? What do you mean by metabolism? What do you mean by energy? What do you mean by ATP? All these things, I think, is being discussed, and we signed off with these three things, that how the plants respire actually, which are the locations from through which the respiration occurs. So stomata, lenticels, and surface of roots we discussed, and we finished it off. Now let's proceed that how you can prove that respiration is actually occurring in the plants. Okay, so there are so many experiments regarding that when you are discussing about the respiration in plants. So for that, I want you to keep your textbooks with you, because the reason is uh, uh, your chapter is full of experiments. I think 4 to 5 experiments are there, and the, just do understand that experiments are the thing which you cannot see them theoretically. Okay, so what we are supposed to do is, whatever apparatus or diagram which is given in your book, we will discuss that, how it is being conducted, that we will see, and what will be the result, that we will be discussing. But if you have any doubts regarding the experiment, if you don't understand the process, okay, then just do one thing, that after the class, once you are free, just do one thing, that whatever the experiment aim is there, just type it in the YouTube or Google, and just see the video for it. Then you will get the idea of actually what is happening, because theoretically I can't show you. Understood?
Yes, miss.
Okay, fine. So let's see this then. Let's see. First, we will start with the experiments, and so let's begin with the experiments of the respiration. Then, first experiment, just look at the uh, books, look at your textbooks, and just follow the diagrams, whatever I will make you understand with respect to that. Okay, so first is to prove, first experiment, what we are doing is that you have to prove that oxygen is used in respiration. Okay, oxygen is used in respiration by plants. So what we are supposed to do here is that we have to prove that the same way that how we do the respiration, when we are doing respiration, then what we are doing is we are utilizing oxygen and releasing CO2. Similarly, if it is with respect to the plants, if you are saying, and if plants are respiring, then they will also use oxygen, and then they will also release CO2. So first experiment what we will be doing is, we have to see that whether oxygen is being utilized, or it is really being respired by the plants or not. So what you have to do is that you have a proper setup for that experiment. Okay, and in that experiment you have to first of all, before starting, you will come across the word like setup and control. Okay, so these two types of words you will come across while reading for the experiment. So understand that whatever you have to experiment, whatever you have to test, suppose if I have to test the oxygen is used in the respiration by plants, then that will be done in this particular experiment. And the control, control is the thing in which it is without that particular source. Okay, so just to make you understand, let me say that if we how we set up we establish the setup and the control, that you will come when you will read the experiment, then you will understand that one side there will be a setup and another side there will be a control. Okay, so let's see that first of all, if you go for oxygen used in respiration, then what we have to do is, first of all, we have to take some seeds. Let me take some seeds, the germinating seeds. Because they are germinating seeds, definitely they are living. Okay, do you understand the word germinating seeds?
Yes, miss.
Okay, the seeds which can germinate, which can give rise to new plant, they are called germinating seeds. So what we have to do is, we have to take germinating seeds and you have to divide them in two parts. Suppose you have 100 grams, divide it into two parts, like 50 grams here and 50 grams for 50 grams for setup and 50 grams for control. Okay, so that is how you have to divide. Now what you have to do is that if this uh, 50 gram is considered as control, then we have to kill these seeds. Okay, what you have to do is kill them. And how you will kill them? By boiling. Okay, so whenever you are being asked to kill the plant, to kill the seed, most of the time we will go for the boiling part. So just boil them, and once you are boiling them, then their embryo will die, and that is how the seeds will get killed. And once they are killed, they will not be able to germinate. Understood this part? And take the living one on this side. These are killed seeds, these are living seeds. Now what you have to do is, take them in your flask or jar, whatever setup you have with you. Okay, then just place a wet cotton. Okay, wet cotton on the surface of these flasks. Okay, here also wet cotton will be placed, and just place the seeds on this particular surface like this. So this is the control jar and this is the experimental jar. Understood? The one which you having the living seeds, and this one will be having the kill seeds. So what you have to do is, we have to see is that oxygen is used in used in respiration by plants or not. So that what we will do, keep this just close it up with a cork, and what you have to do is, you have to just observe that once the germination occurs, because these seeds are living, definitely after some point of time, what they will do, they will just start germinating. They will start germinating. They will start giving rise to the new plant. And because these are killed, they will remain as such. Yeah, they will not germinate because you have killed them. Okay, and these will germinate because they are the living, and you are providing wet cotton, that means water is available, then definitely they are going to germinate. Once they germinate, definitely the respiration will be there, and they will respire the air present in this jar. Whatever air is present over here, they will just use it up in the respiration. And what you have to do is, you have to take one burning candle, and just take that candle inside this jar and inside this jar too. Both the jars, so you have to just burn one candle, because here the seeds have utilized all the oxygen. And I think in lower classes you did this experiment, that just burn the candle and cover it with the glass. Have you done this?
Yes, miss.
Okay. And in that experiment, you must have seen that your teacher must have told you that the candle will burn till the oxygen is available. Once the air is that means oxygen is not available, the candle will get uh, off. It will just cannot burn further. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so what you have to do is, just put one candle in this jar and burn it, and put one candle in this jar and burn it. Then what you will see, because already oxygen is being utilized by these seeds, no oxygen will be there for the candle. And if no oxygen will be there, then this candle will not get burned, while here the candle will burn easily and smoothly, because the seeds are killed, and no respiration have been taken place, and so the candle will continue to burn for the longer duration as compared to this one, the experimental jar. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
Okay, and you must have the setup like some pipe or some straw like structure, and in that you can see the uh, like this, it must be there with a water setup, something like must be there for the first experiment. Setup must be like that. It is there. Can you see the setup for the first experiment? Is it clear to you?
Yes, miss.
Okay, just see to it that the water is also filled in the bigger container in which the flask are being kept. Can you see it?
Yes, miss.
Just see to it that after the experiment gets over, the uh, the leaving the leaving side where the leaving seeds are being kept, there the water level will also rise as compared to the killed one. In the killed one, the killed jar will not show any difference in the water level, but where the living seeds are being kept, the water level will also rise a bit. Understood?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So what you have to do is, Just others can hear me. They are also getting me or not? What I am saying?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Okay, fine. Just do one thing, because the thing is, I can't show you the exact picture like your book. I can't draw that. So just do one thing, that just go through this first experiment from your textbook, and with respect to your diagrams, whatever setup is given in your book. Okay, just go through it. If you have not followed me, then tell me. Have you gone through it?
Yes, miss.
Everybody of you?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Any doubts? Anything which you have not understood?
No, miss, there was no doubts.
Oh, fine.
Yes, miss.
Whatever. Okay, fine. Whatever you said, whatever I have explained you, and whatever you have gone through your textbook, is it correlating?
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Okay, fine. So just do the understand that what I will try to explain the experiment as much as possible from my side. But if you don't understand the process, just do one thing. After the class, just watch the video regarding that experiment. Just type that whatever you have to prove, that aim, and you will get the experiments on the YouTube. Got it? Fine. So you have so many animated videos regarding these experiments there, then that you can follow after the class will get finished. So let's see. Once this is done, then there is another experiment in the book, that is second one is to prove. First, we have seen that whether oxygen is being utilized or not. So we have proved that oxygen is being utilized. So that is the final thing we got, that yes, plants are also respiring and they are utilizing oxygen. Now we have to prove that if respiration is occurring, then whether CO2 is produced or not, because they are utilizing oxygen, that is being proved, but whether they are producing CO2 or not, that we have to prove during germination. Okay, so during germination, now see, there are so many methods to prove this particular experiment or particular aim, but there are, I think, two methods are being given in your book. Just see to it, and you will understand what we can. It actually, all these experiments are to be done in a lab where the whole apparatus is very much controlled. Okay, so it has a proper channel for everything, and you can do it with your means in the open environment. You have to control everything the surrounding, and because you are dealing with the gases, and gases will easily diffuse in air, and you will not know what is happening. So that is what you have to understand about this. That let's then first take another experiment to prove CO2 is produced during germination or not. So similarly, what you have to do is take 100 grams of seeds germinating, okay, and just divide them into two parts, 50 grams. See, what we are doing is, whenever you are doing experiment, just remember that you can take in one jar one type of seed, in another jar another type of seed. What you have to, whatever you are experimenting, whatever you are studying, it should be it should follow the same standard procedure, the same type of apparatus, the same type of conditions. If any one of is going to change, or if anything is not matching, then the proof, whatever you have experimented may not be authorized, or it will not be accepted by everybody. So do remember that whatever you are doing, it should come from one source only. Okay, so 100 grams of seeds, germinating seeds, just take them, divide them, kill one of them, okay, and these are living, while these ones are killed. Okay, just do take 2 jars or conical flask with you, okay, and then just place a wet cotton inside it, place the seeds inside it, okay. So here these are the killed seeds, these are the living seeds. The cotton is wet, that means it is providing water to the seeds. And here what we are, why we are placing the cotton, it's just a simple funda. That means the way you soak the seeds, suppose if you want to eat the rajma in the morning, then what your mother will do, she will soak the seeds in the at the night, and in the morning you will have them, okay, you can cook them. So the water helps in germination. That's why we are placing the wet cotton on this bottom surface. Understood? So place the seeds like this, and after some time, definitely these seeds will going to germinate. They will start germinating. While these are the killed one, they will remain as such. Okay, they will not change. Then what you have to do is, it's a very uh, controlled one, the thing which you are doing. Take this flask with you, and what you have to do is, because you have a germinating seed inside it, okay, take one test tube, and in that test tube what you have to do is, just take the lime water, okay, just take the lime water in it, and then what you have to do is, it's like, if this is your test tube, and if this is your conical flask, you have to open its cork, and then you have to just tilt it, and place its mouth in the test tube. And because it has produced CO2, because this jar must have produced CO2, what it will do, it will just uh, turn this lime water into milky milky shade, just like the milk. Okay, so once, because lime water is very much sensitive to CO2, and whenever it comes in the contact with the carbon dioxide, it turns into milky in nature. Okay, so that is what will happen. And just repeat this all this for this jar also. Take one test tube, fill it with the lime water, and just place the mouth of this conical flask in this test tube, because nothing has been done, because the seeds are being killed. No CO2, O2, nothing has been done. So this will not turn milky, it will remain the way it was before the experiment. So that is how you can prove that CO2 is being produced from the germinating seeds. Okay, so just go through the content of your book for this experiment also. Have you gone through it?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Any doubts?
No, miss, no doubt.
No, miss.
Okay, fine. Okay, so this is how you can prove that CO2 is produced during germination of seeds. Now, similar experiment is there. No difference is being there, but what we are doing is this experiment, same type, because we have to go for the CO2 production only, if it is producing or not. So let's see for the CO2 production, what the book has done, that here, as we are doing everything on the seeds, in this uh, experiment, what they have done, they have taken one bell jar, and in that they have placed one plant, because seeds are proving the things. What about the plants? Can they prove all these things or not? So what they did was they took the jar in which the plant is being kept, and that plant, definitely two jars you will take. Okay. So in one jar, if you want to experiment much, then take 3 4 jars. In one jar you keep the plant, in second jar you don't keep the plant, in third jar if you are keeping the plant, then what you are doing is uh, cover this jar with the black cloth. Okay, light should not be available to this jar, or keep it in the very dark room where no single light ray is falling on this jar. Okay, so cover it up. The reason why you are covering is because the moment the light ray, the light is available to this plant, it will start with the photosynthesis process, because it's a plant. So it will start with photosynthesis, and to avoid photosynthesis, what you are doing is you have to, you don't want to study photosynthesis, you want to study the respiration. So you should force the plant that it should not do the photosynthesis, it should do only respiration, the thing which you want to study. So the photosynthesis should be avoided. Cover the jar with the dark cloth, the one thing that you can do. And the another thing is, keep it in a room where no light is falling on that. Light should not come inside the room in any condition. Okay, so the room should be completely dark. That is two different methods you can follow. And take one jar in which you don't cover this particular plant, then definitely here so many process will occur with the photosynthesis or what. So it will give you the false result. But once you are covering this, you are avoiding photosynthesis, then the results will be much more accurate with respect to the respiration. So uh, do this. And or third thing, if you don't have the black cloth, if you don't have the dark room, then third thing what you can do is do the experiment at night. No other option can be there. Just don't switch on the lights and do the experiment in the dark, then you will get the result. So what you have to do is just do this. And similarly, the way you open the cork and place the mouth on the test tube filled with lime water. Okay, lime water will act as an indicator over here. Okay, so moment it will come in contact with CO2, definitely it turns itself into the milky texture, and that will prove that CO2 is being produced by that particular plant. And definitely if oxygen is utilized, it is definitely producing CO2 in return, and that is how you can prove that yes, the plants can respire. Just go through this content also from your book. Just read it. Just give one reading so that you will relate it. Have you seen this?
Yes,
Yes,
miss.
miss.
Okay, fine. So this is one another type of experiment. Now, another thing regarding the fourth experiment is, I think it is about heat is being produced or not, heat production. Because in respiration, when we are respiring, now see, when our body do the respiration, you must have experienced this, then that when you are doing the respiration, now because when you nowadays you are at home and everybody is forcing on exercise, yoga and something like that. So you must have experienced this, that when you are respiring heavily, suppose if you are exercising and you have your respiration very heavy at that particular moment, then you will feel that your body will start sweating, you will feel hot. The reason is that because you are doing a heavy respiration, that means it will produce heat inside your body. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
Similarly, okay, similarly, plants will also produce heat when when they do the respiration. And I think you all, if you are very much involved with your mother at the home, okay, because if because your mother is doing everything with respect, if we talk about the kitchen or something called stove, okay, then you will understand, you must have seen her, that she, whenever there is a very bright sunlight is there, and there is no chance of showering or rain, then if it is a very dry day, then what she will do, she take up all the she will try to dry the pulses, she will try to dry all uh, the dried food items which are being stored in your kitchen, she will try to dry them in the open sunlight. Have you seen that? Is your mother is doing that?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss. Yes.
Okay, fine. So you must have seen it. Now, the thing is, ask your mom that why she is doing that. If then she will tell you that if you don't dry them up properly, okay, so what will happen? In whatever container you are storing that food product, suppose just take up with the chickpeas. I think you are aware of the chickpeas.
Yes, miss.
Okay. So chickpeas, and let me give you the better name for it, chole. Okay. So in whatever container you are storing them, after some time, if you don't open them for a month or 2 months, 3 months, you have not seen them, it's completely closed. Then you will see a little bit of moisture inside that jar, because those seeds, some of the seeds of them are still living and they are respiring. Okay, so what you can see is the moisture. That is a live experiment of the respiration that you can see at your home. You don't have to do anything, just close the container and keep it for months. Then you will have the difference. But what we have to do is we have to see the heat production by the seeds. Similarly, what you have to do is just to take two beakers, take two types of seeds, killed one and living seeds, and fill this particular beaker with the seeds, close it up, cover it up airtight, and just pass one thermometer in this jar and in this jar. If heat is being produced, because it's a thermometer, definitely thermometer have the capability to measure the temperature. So if heat is being produced by the plant, definitely it will show you the rise in temperature, and rise in temperature will show you the thermometer mercury level. Understood? So this is how you can experiment that heat is being produced or not. Just see that particular picture in your book. Is it clear to you?
Yes, miss.
Everybody of you?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So that is how you can see that whether heat is evolving or not with the plant, with respect to the plants. Now there is one more experiment with respect to the anaerobic respiration. Okay, and that is see with I think the if you see the pictures, they with they have one beaker, in that they have inverted test tube is being kept, and with the seeds on the top in that test tube are there. Can you see that? Can you see that picture?
Yes, miss.
Fine. Why it is kept inverted? Why the seats are keep inverted? Just to avoid the direct contact with the air. Because if no air is available, then definitely sorry, sorry, uh, because that if you take a beaker and in that you keep the test tube inverted, then if the inverted test tube is being kept, then the seeds will not have a direct contact with the environment. No air will be available, and definitely they will show you the anaerobic respiration. They will just give you the results regarding because they have to respire either aerobically or anaerobically, but anaerobically they can't survive long. They will do, but not for the longer duration. So what you have to do is just see that setup, and it is written there that if they are showing you anaerobic respiration, these seeds, then the mercury level, whatever is filled in this container that is filled with mercury, that level will rise a bit, and and KOH is being acting as an indicator inside it. And once the sorry, first the level of the mercury will fall, and then when it comes with contact with CO2, then it will rise. Just read that part. Is it done?
Yes, miss.
Fine. uh, Others?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Anything you have not understood in these 5 experiments?
No, miss.
Fine. So just to see that if you want to see how it is happening actually, you can go on our internet, and there you can find that there are a lot of animated videos are also there for these experiments. Just if you are interested, just look at them, have a good observation on it, then you will understand that respiration is occurring through these experiments, and you can prove them too with respect to the seeds, with respect to the plants, anything. Okay, so that is what about the experiments for respiration. So basically here, as we were focusing on the respiration only, and for because till now whenever you are studying plants, you are studying photosynthesis. I think this is the first time you are focusing so much on the respiration by the plants. Am I right?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so because you know about photosynthesis much. Okay, so photosynthesis is one of the major process done by the plants. But now you have studied the respiration also in the plants. Just see the difference for the photosynthesis and respiration. Let's see what you can differentiate, what you can find it out when you are talking about respiration. So, let me write about photosynthesis and you will understand everything about respiration. So, first, we can say that in respiration, no, sorry, in photosynthesis, if you know the that particular what you can say reaction, okay, and for respiration, so first point that Here, photosynthesis, plants are utilizing carbon dioxide from the environment. They are utilizing H2O. Okay. So, what they are utilizing is being utilized. CO2, carbon dioxide is utilized from the air, and water is utilized from the surrounding atmosphere. Then the plant can perform photosynthesis. Now, tell me about respiration. What are the plants are doing? They are utilizing oxygen. Okay. For respiration, plants are utilizing oxygen, and I must have told you in the last class that the cellular respiration is a different thing. The way we respire is completely different because we have organs, but in plants, the organs are not present. So, for cellular respiration, what is being necessary? Glucose. So, here for respiration, oxygen and glucose is being utilized, and for photosynthesis, CO2 and H2 is being utilized. Is it clear to you?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Now, second thing, if this is being utilized, then what is being produced? Plant, what is being released? So, production. Let me say, production is oxygen, while here production is CO2. Is it clear to you?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Then another point you can write down that for photosynthesis, chlorophyll is compulsory. For respiration, it is not. Can I write this?
Yes, miss.
Okay. Then write one more point that for photosynthesis, because CO2, H2O is required, chlorophyll is required. One more thing, plants do photosynthesis at what time?
It's only during daytime.
Daytime. Okay, so photosynthesis occurs at the time of it is day, but uh, as you are studying biology, just understand that we can't use the word day. What we have to use is light energy. Okay, if light is available, plants can do photosynthesis. Okay, if you provide the light at night also, at the time of night, then also plant can perform photosynthesis. Okay, so you know you are not aware of this, but have you seen the street lights in your city where nearby the trees?
Yes, miss.
Okay, so if big halogen is being there on the street, and as it is providing the light, um which is very much similar to the sunlight, then the plant will, because plants are very innocent, they will get confused and they will perform the photosynthesis at night also, because you are providing them the artificial light. Okay, so that is, you must remember that you should not use the word day, you should use the word light. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
Fine.
Miss,
Now, yes.
miss, in the each of the experiment we saw that there is a control setup. Miss, what is the need of this control setup? Miss, I did not understand.
Okay, fine. Good question. Uh, you need to have a control so that you can compare with that. Okay. See, if control is not there, if you don't have the dead seeds, then how you will know that what will happen if all these conditions are not working, if all standard conditions which you are providing, if any of them will get disturbed, then what will happen? So that is why we use the control to compare with the experimental setup, so that you have a good idea that in experimental setup you are providing all the standard condition. Okay, and because you are studying on seeds, let's kill the seeds. What will happen? This experiment will be followed with the dead seeds or not? Then only you can compare. No? Without comparison, nothing will be there will be no conclusion regarding.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, now see, a very simple thing is that if you have a blue color with you, okay, let me just give you one example. If you have a blue color with you, and if I tell you which color is this, I will ask you, you will just tell me blue. Now, if I tell you that which color are these, then definitely you will say this is darker and this one is light, so you will go for light blue and dark blue. Then only you can do the comparison. Understood?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so thick, thin, dark, light. uh, when we say all these colors, when they once only you can compare with the other shade which is present along with it. Similarly with the experiment, it is the condition that you should have a control setup. I think in one little box the control definition is there in your book at the top of the page. I don't know the page number, but it is there.
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss.
Got it?
Yes, Miss. Now I got it.
Okay. So that is what you have to understand, that in science, if you do physics, if you do chemistry, if you do bio, anything, in science, if comparison is not there, then the proof, whatever you are proving, is not enough. Anybody can put up the question, anybody can put up the argument regarding your experiment. So suppose uh, if you don't have the control set up in these experiments, somebody may ask you that what will happen if seeds are not germinating. They can ask you that question. Understood?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So anybody can put up that question, that you are showing that seeds are germinating, then only the respiration is occurring, O2 is utilized. Seeds are germinating, you are showing CO2 is being produced. You are telling that. But what will happen if seeds will not germinate? Then you have to show this, that see, if seeds are not germinating, then this is happening. That is why we are using the control. Understood this?
Yes, Miss.
Good. So what we were doing is difference between photosynthesis and this respiration. So we have to use the word light instead of day. And day will be for those who don't understand biology. The day will be for those who are just kids, those who have started studying photosynthesis, like for class 3 students, for class 4 students. But because you are in ninth, you should know that there is a difference between the words when you are utilizing for the definition. Okay, so that you should know that here light energy is compulsory, while here it is not the case. It happens with for the whole day, whatever the time will be there, day night anything, so light energy is not required over here. And let's go for further, because we are talking about light energy. You should know that in photosynthesis, light energy is converted into chemical energy. Because through photosynthesis, what is being produced? Starch, glucose. Okay, so light energy is converted into chemical energy, while here chemical energy, because you are respiring, you are utilizing glucose, so chemical energy is converted into heat and other forms of energy. Other forms means, I think in the previous class we studied about ATP.
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss.
Okay, so other forms means, because this energy, whatever glucose you are utilizing, that is being utilized by the body, and because we are performing so many functions, plants are performing so many functions, that chemical energy can be converted into other forms. Okay, and one more thing, other you can go, or you can write is, let's write this one also, that because here food is being produced, food production occurs, while here food is not produced, food is utilized. Here food is utilized. Okay, and because food is produced, then definitely plant will gain weight, while here it will lose it. Is it clear to you?
Yes, Miss.
Fine. So that is what the thing is. And according to the anabolism and catabolism, you can write that this process, because it is making food, this process can be classified as an anabolic one. And while this process, as it is being utilized the food, it is called catabolic process. So these many difference can be considered for the photosynthesis and respiration. Any other difference, if you know, if you feel that this can be the difference between them, you can just add it up. Understood this?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So that is what the difference. And uh, there is a difference, for one more difference is being discussed in your book, is that when we talk about the respiration, respiration in plants and animals, so that is also a difference that you have to understand. And it's not a way, you should know that because plants don't have organs, animals have the organs for the respiration. So definitely in animals, transport of gases is there, transport of O2 and CO2 occurs in the whole body, while here what is happening is diffusion. It is not the transport actually. Is it clear to you?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, then definitely in plants it produces a larger heat as compared to the animals. It is little bit less, here it is more. Okay, why it is more? Because, just to make you understand, let me tell you that our surroundings where trees are there, you don't feel so much of cold, you don't feel so much of heat. The reason is that plant is producing heat just to keep the surrounding optimum for their uh, processes. It should not be too cold, it should not be too hot. Okay, so that is why the heat is compare, it's not way a big difference, but when you're comparing both of them, then plants are producing little bit more as compared to the animals. And if you go for anaerobic respiration, in plants, ethanol is being produced or ethyl alcohol, while in animals, what we are producing is lactic acids. Okay, you can experience that anaerobic respiration is that if you are holding a tea mug for 1 or 2 hours continuously like this, then your muscles are contracted for so much longer duration, and after some time you will feel that you want to just keep that mug and just you want to relax your fingers. Do you feel that?
Yes, miss. Yes.
Even when you are writing too much, if you have to write so much of the pages, then also you must have felt that while continuously writing like this, then what happens after some time, what you will do, you just keep down your pen and you will relax your fingers. Do you do that?
Yes.
Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Okay, you must have felt that. And what happens that because of continuous contraction, because of the continuous contraction of muscles, whenever the muscles are contracting in our body, they are performing anaerobic respiration, and continuous anaerobic respiration produces lactic acid, and due to that lactic acid you feel tired, you feel exhausted. Understood this?
Yes, miss.
So this is what about this chapter. I think nothing more is there for the discussion in that. Uh, got it?
Yes, miss.
Fine. So what you have to do is just for your homework, do one thing, that read it thoroughly, the whole chapter. Just go through it from first word to the last word. Don't leave the even the small boxes where the information is being given. Just read it, and you have little type of three questions in between the chapters. Try to solve them. Okay,